Alright guys, welcome back. So it's been a minute and I apologize. Things been kind of hectic, but trying to get everything back on track. So it's hunting season, guys. The rut's about to start. Next week I will actually be at the hunting club for a whole week. Hopefully my camera, mount to my rifle scope and all will be here, so I'll be able to record that. I actually went hunting about 2 weeks ago and shot a hog with a 243. Now this is my first ever hog kill, and I have to say that 243 did not disappoint at all. So I've been looking at the views on here, and the one that seems to get the most attention is the 243 caliber. So what I'm thinking, and correct me if I'm wrong, is that it's that time of year where everybody's looking at which cartridges are the best, what fits you, and that's what it seems to say to me, because it is hunt season. Everybody's gearing up, everybody's getting ready. So I thought with this one I would kind of go over different cartridges, what I think, what platforms to use, barrel lengths and stuff like that. Now I'm not going to get into the nitty gritty of everything, but I'm going to try and give a overview of it. So to start with, and this is something that just come to mind. I had it the other day. So when I killed the hog, I got my buck knife, and that's all I had to clean the hog. And if you've ever cleaned a hog, it's like trying to cut up a leather couch. It's not easy. So just for thought process, if you ever get the chance to get one of these, it's actually pretty cool. It's like a razor knife. If your blade ever gets dull, you just take the blade out and you can replace it. These things are razor sharp. Try not to cut myself while I'm doing it. But that, just as much as a gun is useful, one of these blades are beyond useful, especially for cleaning your deer. So without further ado, we'll get into it. So to start with, I guess I'm going to start with something that I kind of touched on before, but I never really got into it, and that would be your AR cartridges, because ARs are the most popular rifle out there right now. They're semi-automatic. You can get them anywhere from a 5-round magazine to a 40-round magazine. I don't see why you would need a 40-round magazine for deer hunting, but for hog hunting, that's completely understandable, because them are some ugly, mean critters. And that one I saw, she stunk ugly. Anyway, so we'll get down to the nitty gritty of it. So, you have a multitude of different AR cartridges, and these are the ones that to me kind of stick out the most. And you got 450 Bushmaster. That's a big round. I would use that for like bear hunting, really. I wouldn't try it on deer, because you're going to just destroy everything you hit. So I've got 4 cartridges right here that I believe need to be discussed, and I'm going to set them down on the table. I don't think y'all can see them, but I ain't got the best setup here. So first and foremost, you start with the 223, 556, whichever one. These are a good cartridge. Like I said, my aunt killed her first doe with the 223 out of my AR in there. There's no recoil to it. As long as you make the shot placement good, you can do it. Now, it doesn't leave a lot of error. You have to be accurate, but that's what we aim for, is accuracy. So get out there, practice, and you'll get good. So fast little round. I'm not sure the speed of them. I think a 62 grain out of a 20-inch barrel is moving somewhere in around the 3,100 feet per second. 62 grain. But ARs are not designed to be really long barrel rifle. They're designed to be like carbine length, so you have more mobility with it. Now, it's a good round. It'll get the job done, but we'll talk more on other ones. This is kind of like the granddaddy of the AR. This is what it all came down to right here. Small, lightweight. You can carry a lot of ammunition. And it gets the job done. So that's a good starter, especially for someone who is recoil sensitive. There's no recoil to them, but they are loud. ARs are loud. Then we can work up to the bigger, newer cousin, the 300 Blackout. Now, 300 Blackout is basically the AR-15's platform version of a 7.62 by 39. It's a 30 caliber bullet. You can see the size difference there. 30 caliber and a 22 caliber. This one is a bigger bullet, packs a little bit more punch, but nowhere near at the range that this one, the 223, does. Will it get the job done? Yes, but I personally, I'd keep everything within 100 yards. You know, they drop like a rock. I think these were designed to be ran with suppressors. Thus, why a lot of people like the, you know, pistol length ARs, the AR pistols, with this running with a can, super quiet from what I hear. So that's a good one. It's got a good little punch. Now we get into the technically, or in my opinion, my favorite AR cartridge is a 6.5 Grendel. Now, I personally took a 9-point with this. I had a little bit of some errors. It took a few shots, and I'm not proud of that, but this is designed to be a longer range AR cartridge. 400 yards, I believe, is the max on this. Don't quote me on that. I'm never going to really push it that far, but it can do it from what I hear. Now, problem that I see hunting here in Georgia, the reason it took those shots to put down that 9-point is I shot that 9-point at 40 yards. The bullets are moving so fast they don't have time to expand. So yeah, not my proudest moment. That's not a knock on the cartridge. The cartridge does what it's supposed to do, and you just got to know your limitations with your cartridges. And then you've got this big boy. This is the new one to my collection, and I am actually going to be hunting with this next week. This is a 350 Legend. It is a 357 Magnum bullet, inside of a longer brass casing, designed for ARs. Now, it is a 250 yard deer cartridge. It drops like a rock at a certain distance, but the amount of punch that it has is, from what I hear, it's a hammer. It's going to knock them down. And your ARs, hold on, I'll show you an AR. Oh. This is my 6.5 Grendel. Me and Logan painted it. Tried to do a snake skin. I think it turned out okay. It ain't got to be super pretty, but this is what I took my 9-point with. And, she is a beauty. She will get the job done. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Now, ARs are, reason I advocate for them is adjustable stock. So a smaller frame person, younger, can adjust. If they got short arms, you can adjust it real short. If you got a bigger fella, all the way out, and it can fit comfortably. Right now, I've got my Vortex scope on here. This setup is awesome. And yes, laugh if you want, I got my Trident bipod and my sling on it. But I like her, and she gets the job done. I went with the side eject because the rear eject, if you look where that scope is, in a hurry, if you get a jam, you got to pull it out. It's going to be a little bit of a pain, but it's a whole lot easier to just rack it and boom. Now, anybody who watches my videos knows it's already been unloaded. There's nothing in the chamber, no magazine, safety first. I don't want to put a hole in my damn roof, my dang roof, excuse me. So they are, ARs are awesome things. Now this one has a 20-inch barrel. I wanted a longer barrel because a longer barrel means a little bit more velocity. And when you're talking about a high velocity round, it doesn't make any sense to have a high velocity round and use a short barrel, in my opinion. That's just me personally. 20-inch barrel, for a 6.5 is great. For a 223, 16-inch barrel sign. For a 350 Legend, I've looked at it. A 20-inch barrel doesn't give you much more velocity than a 16. So, that's all about your preference. But me personally, I don't see the point. You hear someone go, "Oh yeah, I've got a 22-inch barrel on my AR." You're adding a whole lot more weight, reducing mobility for only a pitiful amount of velocity gain, in my opinion. Now, that's just my opinion. But so yeah, that's your AR cartridges. There's more out there. There's a whole lot of damn AR cartridges. I think even the AR-10s, which I don't own an AR-10. My personal preference when it comes to that, the idea of the AR-10 is cool, but I prefer bolt actions at that point because like a 308 AR-10, awesome, spitting a big round, and yeah, it will get the job done, but a bolt action to me is just better when it comes to that. Now, there's another thing that a lot of people don't think of is with an AR, you are losing a little bit of pressure with it feeding the cycle. So, you throw a 308 in a 22-inch barrel bolt action and a 308 in a 22-inch barrel AR-10. The velocities are going to be different because in the bolt action, the gas pressure is going all the way to the end of the barrel and pushing the bullet out. Whereas with an AR-10, it's going about, well, with a rifle length gas system, going about 3/4 of the way down the barrel, and then some of that gas is going down the tube to push the bolt back to eject the round to load the next round. So, it's a cool idea. I like it. The semi-automatic is cool. I'm not going to lie. But in terms of functionality, you can't go wrong with a bolt action. You have to have a very low IQ to mess up a bolt action. But I digress. Let's move on to the next caliber. So, those are the ARs. And I'm going to put them up here. And there's nothing wrong if you want a long barrel AR, 223, that's fine. If that's what you want, it's all about your preference. That's the great thing about an AR is you can customize it to whatever you want. If you want a 9-inch barrel on there, you do you. That's your concept. Now, if you get a 9-inch barrel, you got to get a pistol brace because it's no longer considered a rifle. It's considered a pistol. Think on that one. So, anyway, moving on. This is this is kind of granddaddy. This is 30-30 Winchester. Now, this cartridge right here has killed more deer than God knows. It's been around for a long time. It actually started as a black powder cartridge. Tells you how old they are. Then they moved to smokeless, and the 30-30 was born. And it's got the little lip. It's designed to be in a lever action. That is not a long range cartridge. You're not going to shoot anything at 400 yards with that. I don't even know if it'll carry any kind of foot-pound of energy at that distance, any kind of knockdown power, if you will. They are designed for 200 yards and closer, which is why here in the state of Georgia, they're perfect, because most deer you run into are not even 200 yards. Trying to think. 100 yards, about the max you'll really run into them because the woods are so thick. Might as well. And but yeah, this is designed for up close. It's designed to put a 30 caliber bullet on target and knock it out the woods. It's what it is. And they came. Y'all ready for this beauty? Came with the old lever action. Everybody knows what a lever action is. Once again, let's unload it. Now, that's my baby. That's my Winchester. She is side loading, top of jack. And I got peep sights on her. I'm not really a big fan of buckhorn sights. I had one buckhorn sights one time and I could not figure out how to adjust them, and it just left a sour taste in my mouth. And I prefer accuracy, and don't get me wrong, there are plenty of people out there that put a hole in a squirrel's eye at 200 yards with iron sights or buckhorn sights. I'm not one of them. I'm not a Jesse James or any kind of sharpshooter like that. I'm a deer hunter. I want to put the bullet in the vitals. So anyway, yeah, that's my Winchester. She's pretty. I love this gun. I even put the little braided the paracord on there, just stupidity reasons, aesthetics. But 20-inch barrel, this damn good deer rifle. My grandpa, this is all he will hunt with. I have begged him to try one of the other cartridges. 30-06, he says it kicks too much. 270, 243, he don't want none of that. He wants 30-30. He swears on this round he thinks he could take on the Russian army with a 30-30. He might get a few, but that's neither here nor there. So just take a good look one more time. It's beautiful. Anyway, we will move on to the next one, and I'm taking my time and setting these over here. I'm gonna set that one in the frame view just because she's beautiful, pretty rifle. All right, so we will move on to this one. Now, this is, well, I'm pretty sure you know what this is. Now, this is 243. This is the one that everybody's been kind of looking at. And I will say, with that hog, she didn't take 2 steps. That was it. It put her down. And I am not going to lie to you, I was pretty impressed by the amount of power that this cartridge has. You know, very surprised. And, you know, I've heard good and bad things about it. I've heard it's such a small caliber, it's not going to do, you know, what you want it to do. And I disagree. I disagree. And I've heard a lot of people that swear on this cartridge. And, you know, from what I see, it's doing the job. It's, you know, very accurate, very fast bullet, and it seems to unload that energy and shed it on that target like it's nothing. You know, that hog didn't do nothing. And I don't want to see what this is going to do to a deer. You know, y'all were there when me and Logan painted his rifle. That's actually the rifle I used to shoot my first hog. You know, Logan was supposed to come, something came up, he couldn't come that weekend, so I had a rifle. I knew it was sighted in because we sighted it in the week before. Might as well, right? And it did the job. And when I say accurate. So, yeah, 243, not a single complaint. It does the job, and I love it. I mean, minimum damage to the meat, you know, but it got the job done. So we'll move on because I'll keep talking on that, and pretty sure y'all don't come here to just hear me ramble on. So we're going to move on to this one. This is a 308, which, if y'all noticed a minute ago, I had to kind of look at the casings and kind of get a little bit confused. That's why. They're the same length casing. Because all this is they took a 308 and wanted to put a smaller diameter bullet in it. So, and I mean, it works. But this is 308. So this is the 30-06's little brother. I've shot 2 deer with this, and it didn't go nowhere. I mean, it sheds power on it. This is actually known to be a very accurate round too. You know, for the longest time, this is what the military used in their long-range rifles. And notice the cotton stuff, I didn't say sniper rifles, which technically could be considered sniper because the sniper shooting it. Anyway, I digress. 308, damn good bullet. A lot of people, as their kids are getting older, you know, they start them with a 30-30, you know, because there's not a lot of recoil, or 243. And then they upgrade them to a 308, which, from my experience, you can get either or. They both do what you want to do. This one's holding a little bit more weight. You can put heavier bullets in it, so you can hunt different animals with this. You can hunt a black bear with this. You might be able to hunt a black bear with 243 too. I'm not quite sure on that one. I have no intentions of hunting a black bear. But at any rate, you can put heavier bullets in this, have a little bit more punch for them bigger critters. And it's a good round. Not bad. So, and I'll show y'all something really cool. So, look at the size comparisons in these. Right? This is a 270 and a 30-06. And looking at them, I can't really even tell the difference. They look about the same. But if you look at the neck on this, it's a little bit bigger bullet. It's 30-06, 270, right? So 30-06, 270. They just took a with the 270, all they did was take a 30-06 and put a smaller diameter bullet in it, which, you tell me, does it sound familiar? So, you know, it's just people, you know, interchange and see what different things do. And, you know, 30-06, I love a 30-06. I don't know if y'all heard of me talk about my lucky rifle. And I don't even know if I've shown y'all. This is her. It's old Bessie. You know, this rifle right here has killed actually my biggest buck, my 8-point. I mean, it did a number on him. He didn't go nowhere. I've actually killed more deer with this one. And a lot of people talk about the recoil of a 30-06. I don't find it too bad, but then I am that guy. Not gonna lie, as you can probably see. So 30-06 is it's a big old bullet, and it destroys some meat. I'm not gonna lie. If you get them in the shoulder, you can just go ahead and get rid of that shoulder because there ain't gonna be nothing left. But as far as if you shoot an animal and you want to make it quick and it not to go nowhere, can't go wrong with 30-06. It just delivers so much power. And I mean, this was a cheap little rifle that I bought. I think I paid 300, right at 300 outdoor. It's a Remington 783. Got the Accu trigger. Safety's right here on the back. You know, and it's just a cheap rifle. I mean, and there's nothing wrong with cheap. We've discussed that before. I'd rather take this to the woods right here and go hunting with it because it is set up for me than if you were to go, here's a, I don't know, what's a Barrett. Oh, I know you ain't going to be hunting deer with a Barrett. Hope you ain't going to be hunting deer with a Barrett. Anyway, here's a, I don't know, name any $1,000 brand of rifle. I'd rather take this. It's set up for me. She's done me good. She's done me very good, and never had an issue with her. I've shot many a deer. Actually, most of the deer I've shot have been with that. That. And the story on that is I took my 30-30 out to the box stand one day, and I watched the biggest deer I've ever seen in my life. 12 point. Now, this is Georgia. 12 points, you don't really run into a 12 point too often. But, or at least not at the beginning. This is probably like the second year I ever went hunting. And I watched a 12 point at the back of the field, about 350 yards out. And all I had was my 30-30. And I did not feel comfortable shooting. I didn't want to wound them. I didn't want to, make them suffer. And I sat there and watched him lick a branch for about 30 minutes as he toyed with me. And then he slowly walked himself right on out of that field. And I got out of the stand. I took it a little bit personal. Got out of the stand, went straight to the gun store. Didn't even call nobody. Didn't say nothing. Said, I want 30-06. I want something bigger. I want something better. I wonder what they got in there. I went in there, asked the lady, and that's backwoods over in Brooklet, Georgia. That's a really good place if you ever get a chance to go over there. Anyway, I asked the lady, I said, I need something that can reach out there. What do you got? And she started, showing me what all she had. And lo and behold, sitting right there on the wall, Remington 783, 30-06. And my great-grandfather carried a 30-06 in World War II. It did good enough for him. Did good enough for me. So I went ahead and bought it. And that has probably been the best investment I've ever made in a rifle. I didn't have to spend $1,000 to do it. I actually had that scope given to me, and a rifle. I've got $300 in that rifle. Oh, and I think that's like a $20 sling from Walmart. So $320, not including bullets. Anyway, I'm going on, but she's done me proud. I've never had an issue with her. And if you were to ask me, or if you were to tell me, we're going hunting, grab your most dependable rifle. That's the one. I absolutely love that rifle. Anyway, so we'll move on. So that was 30-06. I actually have the clone of that rifle. Well, I say a clone. I have a Remington 700. It's the nicer model of that in 270. And this is a speed demon. This is a long range round. I think they use it a lot out west to hunt mule deer and stuff, but can't get it to stand up. Anyway, that one kind of left a sour taste in my mouth because I shot a 7-point one year. Now, granted, he was 50, maybe closer yards. Shot him straight through the heart. He ran for 120 yards. When I found him, it looked like a murder scene. And, I couldn't wrap my brain around it. What in the world's going on? He was so close that the bullet didn't have time to expand. The bullet was just moving too fast. And, to be honest with you, I haven't even used that rifle since. It's good. It's a capable round. And, I'll get a lot of flack from people. Oh, I never had that experience. Well, that's my experience. And when something leaves a sour taste in your mouth, it leaves a sour taste in your mouth. So, but I'm not going to knock on the 270. It's good for what it's meant for. If you're 200, 300, 400 yards, good round. 50 yards, you might as well shoot it with a slingshot. I mean, my personal opinion, once again. So now we get to move into, to me, which is a kind of all the rave, 6.5 Creedmoor. This one is designed to be long distance. And, I hear a lot of people talk bad about this round. Oh, it don't leave a blood trail. Oh, it don't do this. It don't do that. Did you try shooting the deer a little bit further out? Or are you sitting right on top of them when you shot them? Because just like with the 270, it's not going to open up at close ranges. It's just going to shoot straight through. And the whole point of a hunting bullet is the expansion. That's what causes the shock. That's what causes the quick death. Um, this is not designed as a 30-yard bullet. You know, if you want 30 yards, get a shotgun. Get a 30-30. Somewhere in there. That'll be perfect for you. But this is not a 30-yard cartridge. This is long range. In fact, I think that 1,000 yards people shoot with these, and you can do it. Now, hunting deer, I wouldn't try it at 1,000 yards, but pretty sure if I were to say if you could accurately hit your target, you could take a deer with this at like 500 yards, 600 yards, maybe even more. I've never shot that far. I have no intentions of shooting that far. My buddy Andrew, which will be on the videos when I go to the hunting club, this is all he hunts with. Now, I think he's got a 30-06, but he's got a Creedmoor, and he swears on it. That's the only thing he wants to carry, and it is pinpoint accurate. This is known to be a very accurate round, and there's not a lot of recoil. Just like the 308, there's not a lot of recoil. There's more than a 223, but it's spitting a bigger bullet faster. So, nothing wrong with that cartridge. It's a good cartridge, and, you know, the whole point of it is all about preference. So, if I explain it, the best way to put it is you would not bring, if you were working on a car, you wouldn't bring a jackhammer. There's really no point in a jackhammer. It's not designed to work on a car. It's designed to break up concrete, and vice versa. You're not going to bring a socket set to break up concrete. It's just not what it's designed for. You have to know what you're doing. Now, if you're hunting in the South in the thick brush, you know, where you can't see 200 yards, where you can't see 80 yards because the woods is so thick, why would you need a 600-yard cartridge? Just bring a 12 gauge or a 30-30. They both get the job done, and you know it'll do what you need to do. Secondary point: if you're hunting out west, and you know you're not going to be able to get within 200 yards of a deer, and you have to take that 200, 300, even 400-yard shot, get a long range cartridge, 270, 30-06, yeah, 30-06 will do it. You know, those are the longer range cartridges. They deliver more punch further out, and they fly more accurately. Even the Creedmoor will do it. Or you could just meet in the middle. 243. 243 is a good cartridge so far, from what I can tell. You know, that hog, she was right at 50 yards out, and it dropped her. The 308 will do the same thing. It's going to destroy a little bit more meat because it's a bigger bullet. It's just going to have more fragmentation. It's just going to and blow out. So, you know, 308 is a dang good cartridge. You can shoot it long range. You can shoot it up close. Same thing with 243. 243 can be long range or up close. As far as AR cartridges, 223, I would not hesitate to say it can drop a deer at 200 yards. The grendel, like I said, 400 yards. Up close, it doesn't do too well. 350 Legend, 250 yards and up. And this is the big argument I hear with everybody when it comes to AR cartridge. Which AR cartridge is the new 30-30? None of them. No cartridge is the 30-30 except for the 30-30. 30-30 is just a different cartridge. It's got more powder in it. It's in a lever action. Remember how we were talking about gases, losing gases? You don't lose that in a lever action. And, you know, that's everybody's stapling point. When the 300 hammer came out, which did not gain a lot of popularity from my understanding, that was what they touted it. Is this the new 30-30? Where did that get you? 30-30 is still around. I have not yet once met somebody with a 300 hammer. Not once. So, as far as AR cartridges, if I were to have to pick an all-around cartridge, I'd probably go with the 350 Legend. I mean, it's not long range, but an AR is not really designed to be long range. 223 can kill a deer at 200 yards. A 350 Legend can kill a deer at 200 yards. You're not really going to be shooting a carbine at 500 yards. Can you do it? Yeah. You know, you can also, you know, win the lottery. But the chances are, unless you know what you're doing and you can do it humanely, I wouldn't recommend it. So, I don't know how long the video is, but it's been a while. So, if you're still with us, congratulations. Thank you. So, you just have to think of what suits you best. Now, there's different cartridges for everything, but like I said, as far as an all-around cartridge, 308 and 243 are kind of running in my big one. Now, the 30-06, long range, it's good at up close because it's just such a big bullet. It lays it on them. But a lot of people don't like the recoil of a 30-06. I get it. I do. My grandpa will not. He had a bad experience with one. He won't shoot one again. You could pay him, he wouldn't shoot it. But you just have to figure out what suits you best. Another thing to think about, with ARs. And I see this a lot with people. They want to have, and I'm guilty of it because I do stupid stuff. I put a bipod on the grendel. Could I use it? Yes. Does it add more weight? Yes. Does a 20-inch barrel weigh more than a 16-inch barrel? Yeah, it does. That gun's heavy, especially with I think I have a 24-round magazine for that one. Yeah, it can get heavy. And you have to think about this when you are not only going into the woods, but once you kill a deer and you have to drag the woods out with that gun on your back. It adds up. It really does. When I killed that big buck in the swamp, I was so excited until about 20 minutes later when I was dragging him out. I felt like, I don't know the dude in the Greek mythology that's pushing the boulder up the hill. I felt like that guy. So you just have to find what's best for you. So far as I can tell, my experimentations with the 308 and the 243, they're good all-around cartridge. I have had no problem with them. Here's the one downside that I am finding right now. Now, this may change in the future. It may not. Good luck finding 243 bullets. Can't find them nowhere. 308, you can actually find those. I mean, because the military, the 7.62 by 5.1 is the military standardization of the 308. So you can find bullets for it. The Army doesn't have a 243 bullet. So, at least not to my knowledge. That would be interesting. Anyway, so 308 is a good candidate. And it's just a good all-around bullet. But I'm not going to knock on that 243. I'm not, because I've seen the results. And I was a little skeptical at first, but I'm a believer now. We'll see what it does to a deer. And I'm going to bring an assortment of the rifles, just to kind of test and see what we get. If anybody's watching and y'all want to see which cartridge does what, leave it in the comments. And I will add it to there. And, I'm going to stick to this a little bit more because I have been slacking, and I do apologize. But, no, just leave in the comments what cartridge you'd like to see me take. And, we'll go from there. And we'll see what we get this year. Thank y'all for watching. I'm sorry it's been so long, but you have my apologies, and I am going to do better. Stay tuned, and within next week I will be recording some more content. Don't have a lot of cell phone signal out there, so I might not be able to upload it till the week after. But just be patient with me, and I will get it rolled out as quickly and as beautifully as I can. Thank y'all for tuning in. Good night.